Hello everyone, welcome to another video by Upgrade or Trash It. In this video I've got the Latitude E5420 and what I'm going to be doing, this is going to be a long video, I'm going to be doing a complete install of Windows 7 Pro. So first of all I'm going to install a basic copy of Windows 7 Pro, and then I'm going to show you how you successfully download and install all of the drivers. Now what I mean by drivers is all the little pieces of software that make sure that the screen resolution is working perfectly, that things like the Wi-Fi card is working perfectly, Bluetooth if it has it, touchpad, Ethernet port, all of those things, because it's quite complicated. Because in order to make it work and in order to download those drivers successfully, you need to download other software as well, other software from Microsoft, and then you need to download the drivers in a certain order. But we'll get to that later. The first stage is just to install a copy of Windows 7 Pro. So to stop my prattling on, let's start it up and start the installation. I've got a USB stick with a copy of Windows 7 Pro on it. So this part of the install is really easy. Normally takes around 20 minutes. So the Latitude E5420, let's go over some of the basics. It was released in the UK around May 2011. It came with Windows 7 Pro 32-bit. It came with a 250GB hard drive. It came with 2GB of RAM. It's got a 14-inch screen and it's got an i5 second generation processor. Okay, so let's just set this up for the UK. Perfect. Again, I'm going to do a custom advanced installation, and I'm just going to pause the video here because I want to delete some of these partitions on the hard drive, and this will be too boring to watch. Okay, now that bit of housework has been done, let's move the installation along. So at this point, this is the nub of the installation. This is when the files are transferred from the USB stick and they're copied over to the laptop. And you can see here that we're at the beginning of this, 0%. Once it goes to 1 or 2%, I'll pause the video again to save your boredom. And then we'll take it up again when it's in the installation is in the high 90s. So here we go, the installation. The files have successfully been transferred between the USB stick and the laptop. So we're just about to do a restart for the next stage of the installation of Windows 7. So here's the restart. Okay, so now we're into the second restart. USB stick is still, of course, inside of the laptop. Don't take it out at this stage. Okay, so I'm quickly going to set up an account. And just name this laptop. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to skip activation for today. I'm going to use recommended settings. That all seems to be correct. So there we go. We've got a basic installation of Windows 7 Pro on a Latitude E5420. The trouble is unlike Windows 10, it doesn't really install any of the device drivers. So you can see here the resolution is absolute rubbish because it hasn't got the right software to control it to make it as sharp and crisp as it should be. The Ethernet isn't working either, so we need to install the software for that. You can see though that the sound is working. So the next stage is to install that software. So having installed a basic copy of Windows 7 Pro onto the Latitude E5420, the next logical step is just to download the drivers for the pieces of hardware which aren't working. So you can see here I've got a USB stick in and it's got a video driver, and that's a piece of software that when it's installed should make the resolution a lot crisper, a lot clearer. But this is what seems to happen with a lot of Dell laptops and Windows 7. So I'm just clicking through the setup and you get that error message, which is very complicated and very bloody annoying. But what I'm going to do in the next stage of the video is I'm going to show you a workaround, a solution around this so that all the drivers can install correctly and work perfectly. So at the moment with our Latitude E5320 we've got an installation of Windows 7 Pro, but basically the drivers, the tiny piece of software that makes sure that all the hardware inside it just haven't loaded properly. So the thing to do is to download the all those little pieces of software, the drivers from the Dell website. Unfortunately, that doesn't work. You need to do an extra step, and that extra step is to download some security updates. Now, I don't know why this is, but it basically has taken me hours to try and figure out what's going wrong and why I can't install Windows 7 correctly on the Latitude E5320. And there are 2 security updates to download as well as an update manager. So these 3 tabs here show the security updates that you need to install. KB317957 and you can see here it's on the Microsoft Update Catalog, so that's nice and safe because we know that that is actually on Microsoft website. The next one is the KB447441, and again you can just go to the Microsoft Update Catalog and we can see that's part of the Microsoft website, so that's nice and safe. And the third one is something called a Windows Update for Windows Manager, and you can find that here, another part of the Microsoft website. So there's the 3 things. Now what I'm going to do is you can actually do this. You can download these 3 updates directly onto your Latitude E6320. But I didn't want to do that for the video because the screen has got such a bad resolution. It would be really very, very poor for your watching. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record it on my main computer, and then I'm going to download all of these things, put them on a USB stick, and then I can install them on the laptop itself. So this one here, first of all, this is the 573. So, and it's this bottom one here, update for Windows 7. It's 1.5 megabytes. And I'm just going to and you can see, actually you can see that I've downloaded 2 versions there, so I've downloaded that one successfully. So let's have a look at this one. This is 4419. So what I'm looking for here is I think most Latitudes E6320 are 32-bit systems. So you're looking for this, the 86 base systems. don't download the 64 base systems. Okay, so it's the bottom one on this page and it's 34.3 megabytes. So here we go. If we look top right of my screen, it is downloading and we're nearly there. And then finally, we've got the Windows Update agent. And again, we're looking for the Windows 7 one here. We're looking for the 86th Windows 7 SP1. You can see that there's lots of options here for Windows Server 2008, so just ignore those. And we're just going to click on the download. And this gives me a security risk, but I'm going to click on the information and say that I want to allow the download. And I know that it's safe because I've done it before. Okay, so now if I open my downloads folder, you can see here they are. There's the 3 ones I've just downloaded now. And I'm going to stop the video here, and the next part is to put those onto a USB stick and then to actually load them onto my laptop with Windows 7 on it. So having downloaded these two security patches and the update manager, now we're back on with the Latitude E5420 and we're going to install them. Okay, so and I do install them, excuse me, in a specific order. So you can see I've got my USB stick with them there on the screen, and the first one I'm going to install is the one that ends in 9573. And we have to do a restart. So that's perfect. Let's just keep the video on to make sure that it updates itself and restarts. Now, you may well be asking, why do these security updates and patches, why do they influence the successful installation of the Dell drivers? And to be honest, I'm not quite sure, but I know when I was getting stuck on this and I kept getting errors when I was trying to install the Dell drivers, that I then ended up doing some more Google searches, looking at it more deeply, and this was a solution that they came up with. Okay, so let's go back to our local disk, and the next one we're going to be doing is the update that ends in 4419. So we're going to kick that up. Okay, excellent. That all happened without any issues. Now we'll do a restart. Hopefully it will continue to go really smoothly. And we've got one more piece of software, an update agent to install, which we'll do when Windows starts again. Okay, fantastic. So that has restarted very smoothly. So let me go back to my USB stick, and then this is it, Windows Update Agent. This is the one we want. And let's just install this. Okay, we've got to agree to a license. Now all three of these pieces of software, the two security patches and this update agent, do need to be installed onto your Dell in order to have any hope of the drivers being downloaded and installed successfully. Okay, another reboot, but let's just leave the video running just to make sure that everything works and runs like clockwork. Okay, so that Update agent has installed successfully and the restart is nice and smooth. So at this stage we can think about getting hold of those drivers, those tiny pieces of software to make all the different pieces of hardware work. But we can't get too excited and just doing it in a random way. There's one driver that you need to locate and then install before you do any of the other drivers, and I'll show you that in the next part of the video. So having installed the security updates, the next step involves getting hold of two pieces of information. Now the first piece of information you need is either the laptop model number, or even better is the service tag for your laptop. So what I've done is I've just typed here Dell support, and because I'm in the UK I'm getting all the UK options. So if we go here, then I can just put my service tag in, or you can either do get the service tag which is on a sticker on the bottom of the laptop, or you could just put the model number of the laptop. So let's do here, you can see that I've already done it, so it's there. This is a great page because it's a very, very detailed page. It's got all the information, all the pieces of software that you need. So let me just set up this these drivers. So I've just gone to the drivers and downloads page, and then I'm just going to do Windows 37 32-bit because that's what we're trying to install. And then it comes up, look, a bewilderingly long list of all the pieces of software you can install to get Windows 7 working with it. But what you also need is a Windows 7 driver installation guide. So if you type into Google Dell Latitude E54, now obviously mine's an E5420, but it's not going to be that specific, so I've just gone for E54, the first part of it, Windows 7 driver installation guide, and you can see here within the Dell knowledge base I've got a guide here for the E5430, E5530 laptops, so we'll take that, and this is a step-by-step guide for what drivers you need to install. Now importantly, the first driver that you need to install before you install any other driver is for the chipset. Okay, so that is crucial. So I'm going to go back to the downloads page, and I'm going to look here for all the pieces of software for Windows 7 for the chipset, and here we go. It's this one here, this bottom one, the Intel chipset driver, and I'm going to download that. Okay, and let's just open up my download folder, and you can see here it is there with a really, really complicated name. Now I'm going to stop this video now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to download this onto a USB stick and take it to the laptop and then install it, and then do a video installing it onto the laptop. Having downloaded the driver for the chipset for the Latitude E5420 onto a USB stick, now I've got the USB stick plugged into the 5420 and I'm just going to install it. So here it is, it's that oddly named file ending 3337. Okay, so that seems to have installed successfully. Let's just make sure it restarts without any problems. Okay, this is all going swimmingly, so let's just log on just to make sure it restarts. Perfect. So at this stage we can really start thinking about going crazy. We've installed the chipset driver successfully, and now we just have to go to the Dell support website, download any of the other drivers, little pieces of software that we need for this laptop to work, and then we can install them in any order. So I'll do that next. Okay, so here we go. I've got my USB stick with the drivers plugged in. So let's open it up. And there you go. We've got our network driver here for the wireless and for the Ethernet port, and then we've got the video driver to get this resolution smaller, crisper and clearer. And we can install these drivers in any order we like. So I'm going to start off with the video one so that we can have at least part of the video with a great screen instead of this big blur. Okay, and we're going to restart it, which is going to be fantastic, because if it's successful, the screen would have been transformed. Fantastic stuff, look at that. A proper screen with a proper resolution. That's what we like to see. Okay, the screen is much improved, but we still got an issue with any of the connection to the network. We haven't got either an Ethernet port that's working or a Wi-Fi that's working. So for the final time, let's go back to my USB stick. And here we go. We've got a network driver here that we downloaded earlier. So let's just install this for one last hurrah. Now, if this is successful, the red cross, which is in the bottom right-hand side over the computer screen showing that there's no connections, that will disappear, and we should get the Wi-Fi bars back up. Okay, it seems to be taking its time. Let me just pause the video. Okay, so what I've ended up doing is I've ended up downloading a different driver for a different wireless card than the one that was on the Dell support site. And I'm just going to try and install it now and see if it gets us anywhere. Okay, so this isn't looking very good either. Let's see if we can just, in fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to shut this down. And then we can start again. So after shutdown, what I'm going to do is I'm going to install that new driver and see if it works. Otherwise, I'm back to the drawing board. Okay, so we can still see down here that there's nothing that seems to have been installed successfully. So let's go back to our computer, our USB stick. Okay, it looks as though there's still no luck with that. So both of those Wi-Fi and Ethernet drivers that I have just tried and failed to install, well, yeah, they failed to install, they didn't work. But what I didn't check was actually after, and you can see what's happened is the resolution has gone as well, because I've ended up restoring the system trying to find out what went wrong with it all. But what I didn't check was before I even tried to install those network drivers for the Ethernet and the Wi-Fi, I didn't actually just check kind of plugging the Ethernet in to see if the driver was there all along. So, and here I go. Let's have a look for the bottom of the screen, and you can see here, hopefully, that actually there is an Ethernet. So I've managed to get the Ethernet port is working, but at this stage I haven't got the Wi-Fi working, which is a real shame because the Wi-Fi is the main one. So yeah, I've got everything really working apart from the Wi-Fi. So I will continue to dig into that and hopefully produce a video in a few days or a week or something showing how to successfully install the driver for the Wi-Fi for the Latitude E5420. Okay, so frustrated by the fact that the Windows 7 driver guide, installation driver guide for this laptop seemed to give me the wrong information about the Wi-Fi that I need, and also the support page for this laptop didn't have the right software download for the Wi-Fi to work. I ended up basically taking the bottom of this laptop off and actually having a look at the Wi-Fi card itself. And I found out that the Wi-Fi card is a model called DW1530. So then I Googled that for Windows 7 and I found the driver. So this is how we're going to install it. And let's see if the red cross in the bottom right hand corner disappears. So I'm going to do this in a slightly different way. I'm going to go to the start, and then I'm going to, where it says computer, I'm going to right click on there and then go left click on properties, then go up to device manager. Okay, so what I'm looking for here is a network controller. So I'm going to double click on that, and then I'm going to go for the update driver, and I'm going to go for browse my computer because I want it to look on my USB stick. And what I will do is the link to the correct driver I will put in the description at the bottom of this video. So you've got it. Okay. And then I'm going to tell it to go. So let's have a close look on the bottom right hand side. At the moment we've got a red cross. Now the way I've installed this driver software for the wireless card is a little bit different to the way I've installed all the other wireless all the other drivers, sorry, for the other hardware. And look at that, we're successful. Can you see that? We've now got the wireless. So it's actually detecting. Here we go. That was just a bit of a So there we go. The wireless is working, and they're all of my local wireless networks that I can connect to. So yeah, I'll leave the link to where you can download this software, and obviously I've installed it differently, and that's because the download was a slightly different piece of software. But don't worry about that. Just copy, if you've got a DW150 card, DW1530 wireless card in your E5420, then just copy my method. Use the driver that's at the download, and you will be fine. Or if you're not, please ask me any questions.